A massive leak from an insider provides some detail into what we can expect from one of Xbox's biggest upcoming games.
We have always known war. It forged our empire, turned heroes into queens and kings, and decimated our foes.
Welcome everybody and thank you for joining me. So this week we got a big leak from an Xbox exclusive that is on the way, Avowed. Now up until this point we really have not seen much of this game, and even now it is still unclear as to exactly what this game will be, but a leak from Windows Central does provide at least a bit of insight into what our expectations should be. Now when Obsidian first announced Avowed, there was instantly a lot of hype around the game as it drew a lot of similarities to Elder Scrolls. In fact, the game was presented in such a way that it felt like it was trying to compete with Skyrim, but I am sure now that Xbox actually owns that franchise, the direction of Avowed will change just a little bit. Now the recent leak to Windows Central does in fact make a lot of comparisons, but it's not to Elder Scrolls to which the game is being compared, but instead to Outer Worlds. Now that obviously would be expected considering that it is the same studio, and oftentimes developers does have similar trends across multiple titles. Now it should be noted that the game is still very far from being done, and it is very unlikely that we will see any new details from Xbox officially until at least E3 of 2022. Now the reason why we know a little bit more about the game now is because gameplay was shared with people over at Windows Central. They state on their website sources familiar with internal plans have reached out to us in recent months offering details on Avowed moving through pre-production towards a playable alpha state. Indeed, Obsidian is very close to having a working version of the game with many mechanics and core gameplay pillars already implemented. I can't be sure how old some of the footage I've seen is, but there is a good chance it is far further along. Now the leak revealed that Avowed looked to be built on a similar but more advanced engine from the Outer Worlds, and that there are deep RPG exploration and narrative systems. It is also noted that they have borrowed some elements from Skyrim, like the two-handed combat system. As we have already seen in the trailer that was revealed, you can wield a sword and then also cast spells. There is also an option of wielding two weapons for combat or just using full-on magic, and I guess that just comes down to how a player will be choosing to play the game. Windows Central also states that the game draws elements from Pillars of the Eternity, and again, since Obsidian is the developers behind that game as well, it should be expected. Avowed will feature many elements of Pillars of the Eternity fans will be familiar with. Wizard spells like Jolting Touch, which can fry enemies with forks of lightning, will be present. Two-handed spells like Fireball are conjured using complex looking hand gestures but decimate enemies in a storm of magma and fire. Again, I think it was expected already that RPG elements would be a massive factor in the game. The combat seems to be more loadout based than the Elder Scrolls, which gives you a mountain of spells in a gigantic list. Warriors will get access to more physical attacks like swordplay, powerful kicks and shield bashes, while casters will be given a range of spellbook options to customize and tailor their combat style with attack bound to specific buttons. As explained here, it does look like the combat system will be a lot more complex. Now honestly, in my opinion, I feel like when you have a combat system like this, going third person would be better, but I guess they are trying to just be a little bit more immersive. For some reason I keep thinking The Witcher or Dark Souls, but it's also easy to forget that the end goal seems to be vastly different. Now one other interesting thing that was highlighted in the leak was the fact that the game actually seemed to be a lot more bright and colorful than what was expected. The trailer painted a picture of medieval darkness, but apparently it does have very lively color palettes. Anyway, it does look like the game is shaping up to be a good one for Xbox and might even be one of their biggest releases when it drops, but for now this is where I'm going to end it. So if you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that like button. If you would like to see more videos like this, please consider subscribing, and as always, please remember to stay safe, wash your hands, don't touch your face, and I hope to see you again soon.